Hey guys, Exponent here. Just wanted to talk about the whole story thing. So this is probably going to be like another part. It's going to be more separate. The reason why maybe I started YouTube and gaming and all that. So I thought this would be fun. So anyway, let's get started. Um. So the reason why I got into gaming was because of my ADD and ADHD and background at the time, um, to make me learn how to sit down, like how I'm doing right now, was gaming. And the very first game that I ever saw, it wasn't Super Mario. It was Doom on the fucking DOS. And my God, let me tell you, I was horrified at that game. Now you're probably sitting here like, well, wait, you like play Doom all the time now, and you talk about it, and you're like freaking like madly invested. Yeah, at the time, it scared the shit out of me. I'm not kidding. Have you seen the original Doom? When you were a kid, would you think, damn, that's a good game? No, no, you wouldn't even think that when you're a kid. You'd be like, those things are scary, right? And it did that. And honestly, that's how I guess kind of started me into like horror. And then I started, trying to watch horror movies, and then that kind of ruined it. So then I started watching Scream, and everybody starts laughing at me when I said Scream was the reason why I don't like horror. But yet I watch Alien, Predator, and I don't understand why they're in the horror genre when they don't scare me. But anyway, so Doom was the first game that I ever saw, and Doom is what got my mom thinking, like, okay, what if I bought him an NES and made him sit down and play that? Well, it worked somewhat. Now I have an Xbox One, and this is all I do. Like, gaming has taken over my life. There isn't one thing that I haven't thought about that isn't related to gaming. Everything I've done in the 20 yeah, I'm 23 turning 24. The 23 years I've been alive is gaming. So, with that said and done, I became lazy. If I'm going to be completely honest, I'm a lazy prick. I have learned over time. I like over time. I've learned to get up, do things like doing chicken chores and all that. As you guys seen, I actually, me and my family own a farm. Um, I've I've done many things in my life, and honestly, I love doing this. I love getting up, going to see the chickens, going to see whatever. But when a chicken dies, it just like it hurts. No matter what, it hurts because my parents are like, oh, don't take them as pets. Well, it's kind of hard because that's who I am. But anyway, let's get back to the whole gaming thing. Um, I'm gonna say this in advance. I do apologize about my ADD. I do tend to go off, and go in a circle. So I apologize now in advance. So anyway, 4 minutes into it. So gaming was something I knew. Gaming is something I liked. So as I grew up, I started to understand the technology. I started to understand things. I got a Nintendo 64. I didn't care about the bits. I just loved the console. The console was great. The games are great. And then came where me and my dad got, like my real dad got along with one thing, which was banjo. And when I played that game, I felt like a kid again. But it it hurt a lot playing that game on live stream as well. I'm gonna be completely honest. That's why I kind of, in sense, rushed it. I guess. I guess that's the best way to put it. I rushed the game because I felt I felt like I was. It's hard for me to put into words how I felt. I felt like that I was trying to get a hold of my dad again, which is not true. I want nothing to do with him. And but playing that game made me feel like it. But then I got talking to a friend, and my friend said this: "Do you like it?" And I said, "Yeah, I love the game." Then why think of your dad when you're playing it? Why think of this? And I got thinking, and I'm like, well, why am I thinking like that? And I was fine to play it through the rest of it. Like, it took me a little bit. There was like a midpoint where it stopped when I stopped playing, and then it just went for months and months and months and months, and then all of a sudden I came right back. That was when it happened. I don't remember, but that's when I started playing it again, and I felt okay. But anyway, um, so I had Nintendo 64. Then I had a PlayStation. I had Super Nintendo, Sega. I've had like consoles and consoles, and that's all I ever fucking had. And then one day my mom threw them all out because she was done. And then my mom fucking realized, oh fuck, I got nothing for him to do now. And she regretted it real quick. Then came in when I went to Myrtle Street, which isn't around anymore. Rest in peace, Myrtle Street. And my friend TKO, as you guys all know him, said, "Hey, try out RuneScape." Of course, I'm like, "What's RuneScape?" Walks over and is like, "Oh, it's just a fantasy RPG game, you know." And then all of a sudden, when I heard game, I was like, I want to see this. I want to see play RuneScape. So I walk over, and it was amazing to see that you could fucking cook, you could fish, you can do all this stuff, and I was just like, there's a lot to do. And this is a free game? And they're like, yeah, it's free, but you just gotta pay for a membership, like if you want to do, like for instance, slaying or whatever the membership back then was that allowed you to do. I don't believe Slayer was around that time, so please don't hate on me. So I got home and I'm like, hey mom, can I go on the computer? And my mom's like, well, sure, why? And I'm like, I'm gonna play this game called RuneScape. She's like, what's RuneScape? And I showed her, and my mom's like, oh, it's violent. But mom, you can put the meat in the fire, then you can cook it, and then that's how you get food. And when my mom realized that I was learning stuff, my mom was like, oh, okay, you can play it. And for 8 years, until I got an Xbox 360, I played RuneScape. That game made me fucking just keep playing and playing every day after school. I would zone out. I would be in that world. I would be playing that game. And that game has been with me all the time. All the time. I can't remember shit today. But nevertheless, that game has been with me. And now that they released it on mobile, I felt this small again. It was the greatest time that I ever had while playing the beta. It was so much fun to actually do all the stuff that I did when I was a kid again. So, thank you to RuneScape. Thank you to Java or whoever created it. Thank you so much for creating that game. You guys taught me a lot while, like being a kid that, has been abused, raped, and I can go and be somebody else in a different world. It was great. Um, I wasn't I To explain how RuneScape worked with me. When I got on RuneScape, I wasn't Cody Eugene Harris. I was fuck. I think around the time I was like in Weeb, I was Naruto 1965. Yeah, that was my fucking username. Weeb. Anyway, so I was that person. And I was just submersed into this world. I loved it. I I felt like I was fending for myself. I was building stuff. I was learning. I was understanding. And I got to meet people on there. I got to learn how to actually type quicker. I learned a lot from RuneScape. And with people saying how games are like, oh, they're violent or they make people go kill people, it's like, no, it's not true. And I try to tell people the story of how I played RuneScape and how I felt. Did I feel like I wanted to go and fucking stab some person and think that they're a goblin? No. Did I ever wanted to cast a fucking magic spell and be like, Hah! No. Like, that's where the whole violence thing came to be, because that's when I had to stop playing. Because, well, for one, my dad moved out, took the computer with him. Two, couldn't afford the internet. And three, well, I got an Xbox 360. So that's the reason why I stopped. And then I started trying to pick it up back again. Then I would lose the computer. Then I would have to wait. Then pick it up again, lose the computer, and rinse and repeat. Now I have an Xbox One. And I've been playing with you guys for almost 3 years now. And I want to say thank you to everybody who comes to this channel, who comes to see my weird ass fucking play games. I just really want to say thank you to everybody. Because honestly, yeah, this is where the whole gaming came to be. Because then when I was trying to afford the Xbox One, I was learning how to create a console. And before I figured out that you can put a PS4 and an Xbox One together, like I was figuring it out, someone's already done it. And I was just like, well, fuck, there goes that idea. So I stopped. I threw it out. I threw out the plans. Didn't want anybody to think I was stealing the idea. I was like, no, not having it. And I threw it. And this is where I guess I learned to stop caring, because every single time when I come up with an idea, I was like, oh, if I do this, already done. Okay, there goes that idea. But that's where gaming came to be. And the first game that I played on this fucking console was Doom. It was a great comeback to play that game. It really was. So, really, ADHD, and then my mom buying me a console was probably the greatest thing that I ever got into. It made me feel like I was a different person, and which got really addictive, honestly. So there's my gaming story. I know it's a little bit everywhere, but I warned everybody. So I hope you guys enjoy me just rambling on about games. I do know a lot about game stuff. So, um, if you guys ever want me just, to sit down and, talk about, games and what I really want in my arsenal so I can, maybe get something to, strive for, because I really want to become a museum for gaming. I know there's already one out there, but I really want to become like very knowledgeable about gaming technology. Um, and I've actually learned a lot from James Rolfe, which is from AVGN Cinemassacre, and I also want to say thank you. You are also a great inspiration. He's actually probably the last person that I actually have a lot of inspiration from. Um, so yeah. Anyway, so there's that. If you guys don't know Cinemasker, go check him out. He's not sponsoring me. I'm just a fan that probably watched every single freaking episode maybe about 1,000 times, because his content is still funny no matter what to this day. Um, so yeah. So again, thank you to everybody. Thank you to my parents. Thank you to my mom. This is just pretty much thanks to everybody. Um, keep gaming. I don't know. Just make sure you guys know that gaming, if it helps you, play it. So that is what I said. I'll see you guys in the next video.